My name is Danny, as host mentioned earlier. I'm a founder and chairman of an anime convention held in Little Tokyo called NinjaCon. Happens once a year in June, but during the convention season, I am a stand-up comedian. So I do stand-up at various conventions and also at different comedy clubs.
When did you start and what gave you the interest in becoming a comedian?
It all started in 2007 Anime Expo. This was in Long Beach. I walked into a comedy panel with my cousin, and we saw it. It was a pretty badass panel. And my cousin's like, dude, you should do comedy. You're funny. I'm like, I don't know if I am that funny. And I actually rehearsed a routine that took me about an hour to practice. And out of the 25 that auditioned at 2008 Anime Expo, Last Comic Standing, I took first place. I won. And from there, I just started exploring other comedy venues. I took out most of my comedy filters, and I would start going to the Laugh Factory in Hollywood. I started doing shows at the Comedy Store, and it became a hobby afterwards. So I would say 2008 Last Comic Standing. Shout out to Masa De Luffy for giving me the shot to do comedy there. So.
You have performed in comedy clubs and anime conventions. Are those two audiences similar or completely different?
Completely different. The thing is that with anime conventions, they're not used to the whole comedy experience at an actual club. At least with the comedy clubs, there's like rules and regulations and kind of like stipulations on how to be appropriate at a comedy club. Whereas anime conventions, it's free for all. So it's whoever, you get random hecklers, you get random people just conversating back with you. And I got so used to it that I end up having a conversation, but at the same time, you gotta rail back the story with the rest of the show. So very different people, different sets of people there.
Does knowing the ages of who is in the audience determine what kind of jokes you can and cannot tell?
We'll find out tonight, to be honest. I'm actually one of the few PG comedians in the anime community that can do jokes that don't include any kind of profanity or vulgar language or anything like that. But I'm doing a comedy show for an hour. I don't know how that's gonna work for tonight, but I could adjust to either or, both catering for kids or for adults 18 and over that can relate to any of the stories I can talk about. So not too much of a difference, but I'm good.
Do you or does the event people tell you your boundaries?
Yes. If anything, I ask them what kind of boundaries. And usually when I do comedy shows, I ask them, would this be 18 plus if it's appropriate? And they say, yeah, if it's 18 plus, it's kind of like Call of Duty, weapons free. You talk about whatever you want. And I've talked about the most randomest things that you can go to my channel and find out. But yeah, usually I always ask, what content can I use? So it's kind of like, because again, there's conventions that cater to kids, and then there's conventions for adults. So I kind of have to choose my weapons wisely.
The jokes that you tell, are they based on situations that involve you and your friends, or are they just live stuff and you were just there?
A little bit of both. I always have a crew, a posse that I hang out with that comes with me to these conventions. And one way or another, I always end up finding the most randomest things to share. But a lot of it is with my friends. More so, it's personal, from my personal experience as an otaku. And especially since I'm coming from a Hispanic background, it's such a huge culture clash between Asian culture and Hispanic culture. So I usually try to fuse both of those cultures in my act, which people can understand that are watching my shows and be like, oh, I get that. One experience that I want to share with you guys is that I was at Anime Expo 2011. I did a closing set, and one of the guys that was in the show, that was watching the show, he's like, oh, you're that Hispanic comedian. Oh, when you're telling about the joke when your dad was about to hit you for lying. Oh, tú sabes, me pasó lo mismo. He was talking to me in Spanish. And I was like, whoa. I reached his inner Mexican. That was crazy. Even though I think he was Puerto Rican, but whatevers. But yeah, a lot of it is always culture clash, which is probably my best arsenal as far as comedy goes.
If people wanted to get more info and updates on you, where can they go?
You can go on YouTube at, it's my old YouTube account, which was Epion2002X. For all you Gundam fans out there, holla. But you can just type up Dboy, D-B-O-Y, space comedy, and you'll find my channel there. I also have a Facebook page, which is Dboy Comedy or Comedian. I'm hardly on that one, but you can find me in either of those channels. For more information about NinjaCon, website is www.ninja-conla.org or at the NinjaCon Facebook page, Facebook/NinjaCon. So find me there.
Thank you very much for being with us today, everyone. Dboy and Gonzales.
Thank you.